Kate Miller never planned to be taken by aliens. She had been working late at the astronomy lab when a strange light appeared outside her window. The next thing she knew, she was on a spaceship surrounded by tall blue beings with 4 arms and glowing eyes. The blue aliens called themselves the Zorathi. They explained to Kate that humans were not supposed to know about alien life, but now that she had seen them, they had 2 choices: erase her memory or take her with them. Kate chose to go with them. She wanted to see what was beyond Earth. The Zorathi ship was huge and made of a metal Kate had never seen before. Inside, everything glowed with a soft blue light. Kate was given a room that changed to match her thoughts. When she felt cold, it got warmer. When she thought about home, it showed images of Earth on the walls. The journey, Kate met many Zorathi. Most kept their distance, but one young female named Alara often came to visit her. Alara was different from the others. She wore shiny clothes and had markings on her skin that the others did not have. Kate did not know that Alara was actually the princess of the Zorathi people. Alara was curious about humans. She asked Kate many questions about Earth, food, music, and love. Kate learned that Alara had been studying Earth in secret for many years. Alara could speak some English but still made funny mistakes that made Kate laugh. They became friends during the long journey. After what felt like weeks, the ship finally arrived at Zorathia, the home planet of the Zorathi. From space, it looked like a giant blue and green marble, much like Earth but with 3 moons instead of 1. Kate pressed her face against the window, amazed by the sight. When they landed, Kate was taken to a special building made of crystal. It was bigger than any building on Earth. The floors were soft and seemed to move under her feet. She was given new clothes made of a light material that changed color. Based on her mood, Kate soon learned that the Zorathi lived very differently from humans. They did not sleep but went into a quiet state for 1 hour each day. They ate only once every 3 days. Their food was a thick liquid that tasted like metal to Kate. At first she could not eat it, but they made a special version for her that tasted better. The Zorathi were ruled by females. Males took care of children and homes, while females did all the important jobs like science, government, and space travel. Alara explained that this was because female Zorathi were stronger and lived longer than males. Kate found this very different from many Earth cultures. Kate was not allowed to go outside the crystal building at first. The Zorathi Council was still deciding what to do with her. Some thought she should not be allowed to see their world. Others thought she should be studied. Alara spoke up for Kate. She told the council that Kate could help them understand humans better. After many days, Kate was finally allowed to go outside with Alara as her guide. The sky of Zorathia was purple. The plants were tall and looked like crystals that grew from the ground. There were animals too. Some had 6 legs. Others could fly without wings. Kate took pictures with a device Alara gave her. She wanted to remember everything. The city around them was built in circles. Everything connected to everything else. There were no cars but floating platforms that moved people around. Kate and Alara rode on one. It moved quickly, but felt like standing still. Kate learned that the Zorathi had found a way to control gravity. This was how their ships flew through space. Alara took Kate to the royal gardens. They were huge with plants from many different planets. Kate had never seen so many colors and shapes. Some plants moved when touched. Others sang soft songs when the wind blew through them. Kate felt at peace here. But then Kate made a big mistake. While walking through the garden, she stepped on a small blue flower. It made a loud sound and turned black right away. Alara looked scared. She told Kate that this was a sacred flower. Only royal family members were allowed to touch it. Kate had broken an important rule. Guards came running. They surrounded Kate and spoke quickly in the Zorathi language. Kate could not understand them, but she knew she was in trouble. They looked angry. Alara tried to talk to them, but they would not listen. They took Kate away from the garden and back to the crystal building. They put Kate in a room alone. She waited for hours, worried about what would happen. Would they send her back to Earth? Would they punish her? She did not mean to step on the flower. It was an accident. Finally, the door opened and Alara came in. She looked serious, but not angry, Alara explained. that stepping on the royal flower was a serious offense. The normal punishment was to be sent away from the planet forever. But there was another old law that could help Kate. The law said that if someone broke a royal rule, they could be forgiven. If they joined the royal family, Kate did not understand what this meant. Ilara took a deep breath and explained more clearly. To join the royal family, Kate would need to marry a royal Zorathi. And since Ilara was the one who brought Kate to the gardens, Ilara herself was the only choice. Kate was shocked. She barely knew what Zorathi marriage meant. Kate asked for time to think. She paced around the room for hours. Marriage to an alien. She had never even considered such a thing. But the alternative was to be sent away from this amazing world before she could learn more about it. And she had grown to like Ilara during their time together. The next morning, Kate gave her answer. She would marry Ilara. She would stay on Zorathia and learn more about their world. Ilara seemed pleased. She told Kate that the ceremony would happen soon. Kate had many questions about what it meant to be married to a Zorathi princess. Ilara explained that Zorathi marriages were different from Earth ones. They were more like a joining of minds and purposes than a romantic union. Kate would become part of the royal family. She would have duties and privileges. She would be expected to learn Zorathi ways, but could also teach them about Earth. The marriage ceremony happened 3 days later. Kate was dressed in flowing blue robes. That matched Ilara's. The ceremony took place in a large round room with hundreds of Zorathi watching. Kate felt nervous, but Ilara kept giving her encouraging looks. The ceremony was simple. They drank from the same cup. They placed their hands on a glowing crystal. They spoke words in the Zorathi language that Kate had memorized but did not fully understand. At the end, the Queen of Zorathia placed a thin silver band around Kate's wrist. It tingled against her skin. Just like that, Kate Miller, from Earth, became the wife of Princess Ilara of Zorathia. Kate was given new quarters in the royal palace. She now had 5 rooms instead of 1. The walls changed colors based on her thoughts, just like on the ship. She had a view of the crystal, forests, and could see all 3 moons at night life as a royal wife. It was strange at first. Kate had to learn many new rules and customs. She had to bow to the queen, but everyone else bowed to her. She was given special food that tasted better than the standard Zorathi meals. She was assigned servants who helped her dress and showed her around the palace. Kate started to learn the Zorathi language. It was hard with many sounds humans could not easily make, but she practiced every day. Soon she could understand simple conversations. The silver band on her wrist helped somehow. When she wore it, words seemed to make more sense. Ilara was busy with royal duties most days, but made time for Kate in the evenings. They would walk in the gardens or watch Zorathi entertainment together. Ilara taught Kate about Zorathi history and science. Kate told Ilara about Earth music and art. They became closer, sharing stories and ideas. 1 month after the marriage, Ilara took Kate to a special place, deep under the palace. It was a large laboratory filled with strange equipment Kate had never seen before. Zorathi scientists worked at stations around the room. They all bowed when Ilara entered. Ilara explained that this was her personal research facility. She had been studying humans for years. This was why she knew so much about Earth. Kate was surprised. Ilara admitted that Kate was not randomly chosen. The Zorathi had been watching her for months before the abduction. They chose her because she was smart and worked alone at the lab. Often Kate felt a bit betrayed. She asked if the marriage was also planned. Ilara assured her it was not. The sacred flower incident was a real accident, but Ilara admitted she was happy about how things turned out. She had wanted to bring Kate to Zorathia to help with a serious problem. The problem was that the Zorathi were dying out. Their birth rates had been dropping for centuries. They had tried everything to fix it, but nothing worked. They needed new genetic material to save their species. Ilara believed that humans might be compatible enough to help. Kate was shocked by this news. She asked if she was just a science experiment. Ilara looked sad. She said that was never the plan. She genuinely enjoyed Kate's company. The marriage was real. But yes, she hoped Kate would help them understand human biology better. Kate felt confused. She needed time to think. Kate spent the next few days alone in her rooms. She felt used. Was her whole relationship with Ilara fake? Was she just a specimen to be studied? She missed Earth. She missed normal human things like rain and birds and pizza, but she also thought about the Zarathi problem. If an entire species was dying out, and she could help somehow, wasn't that important? Could she really turn her back on them? And despite everything, she still liked Ilara. The princess had been kind to her, even if there were hidden motives. After much thought, Kate went back to Ilara. She agreed to help with the research, but set some rules. She would not be just a test subject. She would work alongside the scientists as an equal. She wanted to learn Zarathi science while helping them. Kate had been an astronomer on Earth, but she knew enough biology to contribute. Ilara agreed to Kate's terms. She seemed relieved and happy. They began working together in the laboratory. Kate learned that Zarathi science was far beyond Earth's. They had cured all diseases. They had extended their lifespans to over 300 years, but they could not solve their fertility problem. Kate suggested they look at the problem differently. Instead of focusing on Zarathi biology, they should study the compatibility between humans and Zarathi. This new approach excited the scientists. They began new tests. Kate volunteered blood and tissue samples. She helped analyze the results. The work was hard but rewarding. Kate felt useful. She was learning amazing things every day, and her relationship with Ilara grew stronger. They were partners, now working toward an important goal. Together, they made progress. The scientist found that human and Zarathi DNA could be combined in certain ways. While all this was happening, something unexpected was occurring back on Earth. Lisa's search for her missing friend was getting results. Lisa Johnson had worked with Kate at the astronomy lab on Earth. They were good friends. When Kate disappeared without a word, Lisa knew something was wrong. Kate would never just leave. She reported Kate missing, but the police found nothing. Lisa began her own investigation. She checked the lab security cameras. They showed a bright light outside Kate's window, then nothing. Kate was simply gone. Lisa checked the astronomical data from that night. The readings showed strange energy patterns in the sky. As an astronomer, Lisa understood what others might miss. There had been an unidentified object near Earth that night. It had used some kind of energy field. She became convinced that Kate had been taken by something not from Earth. Most people thought she was crazy when she shared her theory, but Lisa did not give up. She used the lab equipment to scan the skies night after night, looking for the same energy pattern. For months, she found nothing. Then one night she detected it again. Something was back in Earth orbit. Lisa worked quickly. She modified the lab's radio telescope to send a message toward the energy pattern. She sent a simple message in binary code repeating Kate's name and the word friend over and over. She had no idea if anything would receive it or understand it. But she had to try on. Zarathia alarms went off in the royal palace. A human signal had been detected coming from Earth. It was directed at their scout ship. Kate was called to an emergency meeting with the High Council. They showed her the message and she recognized Lisa's work right away. The council was angry. Someone on Earth had detected their ship. This was forbidden. Humans were not supposed to know about aliens. The council feared that Earth might be more advanced. Then they thought some council members suggested destroying Earth to protect their secret. Kate was horrified. Kate explained that Lisa was just one person. A friend looking for her. Earth itself was not a threat. The message was just binary code, not advanced technology. But some council members were not convinced. They said one human finding them today could mean all humans finding them tomorrow. The council voted to send warships to Earth. They would not destroy the planet, but would set up weapons that could do so if needed. Kate had to stop them somehow. She went to Ilara for help. Ilara was torn between her loyalty to her people and her feelings for Kate. But she agreed that destroying Earth would be wrong. Together they needed to find another solution. Ilara remembered something from her studies of Zarathi history. There were legends about early Zarathi explorers visiting other worlds. Thousands of years ago, Earth was mentioned in some of these old stories. If they could find proof that Zorathi and humans had met before that might change the council's mind, Kate and Alara sneaked into the ancient archives beneath the royal palace. It was forbidden to enter without council permission, but they had no choice. They searched through old records and star maps. For days they read faded texts and studied ancient devices. Finally they found what they needed, a treaty signed between Zorathi explorers and early human civilizations. The treaty declared humans as protected cousins of the Zorathi. It promised that humans would be allowed to develop on their own until they reached the stars. Then they would be welcomed into the galactic community. Kate and Alara brought the treaty to the High Council. The council members were shocked. Some denied the treaty's authenticity, but royal records could not be faked. The Queen herself confirmed that the treaty was real. The attack on Earth was called off. The discovery changed everything. If humans and Zorathi were ancient cousins, that could explain why their genetic material might be compatible. It gave new hope to the research Kate and Alara were doing. The council gave them permission to continue their work with new resources, but there was still the problem of Lisa on Earth. She knew something. She was looking for Kate. The council agreed that the situation needed to be addressed. They could not erase the knowledge from Lisa's mind without going to Earth. And if they went to Earth, they risked being seen by more humans. Kate had an idea. What if Lisa was brought to Zorathia just like she had been? She could help with the research. She was a brilliant astronomer. Her skills would be useful, and Kate missed her friend. The council debated the idea for many days. Finally, they agreed, but with conditions. Lisa would be the only human brought to Zorathia. She would need to agree to stay, and Kate would be responsible for her. If Lisa caused any problems, both humans would be sent away. A small ship was sent to Earth. It landed near the lab where Lisa worked late one night. Lisa was alone, monitoring the skies as usual. The ship used a beam to bring her aboard before she could react. When Lisa woke up, she was scared and confused. Then she saw Kate. The reunion was emotional. Lisa could not believe Kate was alive and on an alien ship. Kate explained everything that had happened. How she had been taken. Her life on Zorathia. Her marriage to Princess Alara. The genetic research. Lisa was amazed and full of questions. The journey to Zorathia gave Kate time to tell Lisa everything. The marriage. The dying Zorathi. The ancient treaty. Lisa took it all remarkably well. She was a scientist after all. The opportunity to study an alien civilization was a dream come true. When they arrived on Zorathia, Lisa was given quarters near Kate's. She met Princess Alara and was invited to join the research team. Her astronomy knowledge proved valuable. She had fresh ideas. The Zorathi scientists respected her. Input. Lisa adapted to life on Zorathia quickly, like Kate had. She was fascinated by everything, the technology, the culture, the strange food. She and Kate worked together again like old times, but now they were helping an alien species survive. Months passed. The research made progress. Kate and Lisa discovered that certain human genetic sequences could be used to repair damaged Zorathi DNA. It would not be a quick fix. It would take generations, but it offered hope where there had been none. Kate and Alara's relationship grew stronger. They were true partners now. Kate no longer felt like an outsider. She had learned the language, the customs, the history. She had friends in the palace. She had important work. She had Lisa, and she had Alara. One night while watching the three moons rise, Alara asked Kate if she was happy. Kate thought about Earth. She missed some things. The rain, the grass, the simple pleasures of human life. But she had gained so much, a new world, new knowledge, new purpose, and love. She told Alara she was happy. Alara seemed relieved. She admitted she had worried that Kate might want to return to Earth someday. Kate assured her that Zorathia was home now. She belonged here with Alara. But she suggested that perhaps more humans could visit someday, not to stay but to learn. Not everyone at once, but slowly over time. The idea of bringing more humans to Zorathia was controversial. The council debated it for many weeks. Some members were strongly against it. They feared humans would bring chaos to their ordered world. Others saw the potential benefits humans were creative and adaptable qualities. The Zorathi needed in the end. They reached a compromise. A small group of humans could be brought to Zorathia, but they must be carefully selected scientists and scholars who could contribute to Zorathi society, and they must all agree to certain rules. No communication with Earth. No sharing of advanced technology. Kate and Lisa helped create the selection criteria. They suggested people who were open-minded and calm, people who could handle the shock of alien, contact people who had useful skills. The Zorathi would observe them on Earth before making final decisions. The first group was small, just 5 humans, a biologist, a chemist, a linguist, a doctor, and a cultural expert. They were brought to Zorathia, much like Kate and Lisa had been. At first they were confused and scared, but seeing other humans already living there helped them adjust. Kate served as their guide and teacher. She showed them how to eat Zorathi food, how to use Zorathi technology, how to follow Zorathi customs. She answered their endless questions. She helped them through their homesickness. She remembered how hard those first weeks had been. The new humans brought fresh energy to Zorathia. They asked questions no one had thought. To ask, they suggested solutions no one had considered. The research advanced quickly. The Zorathi scientists were impressed. They began to see the value in human thinking. A year passed, then another. The human community on Zorathia grew slowly, but steadily 20 humans now lived in a special section of the city. They worked alongside Zorathi in various fields, not just genetics but art and music and philosophy too. They were building bridges between 2 species. Kate was proud of what they had accomplished. She had gone from accidental visitor to respected leader. She advised the Queen on human matters. She helped resolve conflicts between humans and Zorathi. She and Alara were seen as the perfect example of cooperation between the species. The genetic research finally produced real results. The scientists developed a treatment that could repair Zorathi reproductive cells. The first test subjects successfully had children. These children were healthy and strong. The birth rate began to rise for the first time in centuries. The Queen honored Kate and Lisa and their team with the highest Zorathi award, the Star of Life. Kate stood before the entire royal court to accept it. She remembered that frightened night in the lab, so long ago, how scared she had been, how alone when the strange light had appeared outside her window. That moment had changed everything. The success with the Zorathi led to new questions. Could Earth and Zorathia have an official relationship now? Was it time for humanity to learn they were not alone in the universe? The council was divided. The old treaty said humans should be left alone until they reached the stars. But they had not done that yet. Lisa had detected the Zorathi ship, but Earth, as a whole, was not ready. Kate and Alara proposed a middle path. A slow and careful introduction. A few Zorathi could visit Earth disguised as humans. They could establish contact with key scientists and leaders. They could prepare the way for eventual, open contact. This would take years, perhaps decades, but it would be safer than sudden revelation. The council approved the plan. The first Zorathi visitors to Earth would be trained by the humans living on Zorathia. They would learn to act human too, blend in. They would learn Earth customs and speech patterns. The humans were excited to become teachers after being students for so long. Kate herself would not return to Earth, at least not yet. Her place was on Zorathia with Alara. But Lisa volunteered to go back. She would be the anchor for the Zorathi visitors. She would help them navigate Earth society. She missed her home planet, despite all the wonders of Zorathia. Preparing for the Earth mission was complicated. The Zorathi needed special suits that made them look human. They needed to understand Earth politics and social norms. They practiced Earth activities like eating 3 times a day and sleeping at night. They watched Earth movies and read Earth books. Finally, the day came. The first team was ready, a mix of Zorathi disguised as humans and actual humans who had lived on Zorathia. They would travel to Earth in a ship designed to look like a private airplane. They would establish a research center in a remote area. They would make careful contact with selected humans. The goodbye was emotional. Lisa hugged Kate tightly. They had been through so much together. Now they would be separated again. But for a good cause, Lisa promised to send reports. Kate made her promise to stay safe. Alara gave Lisa a royal token, a small crystal that would allow emergency communication if needed. After the Earth team left, Kate and Alara focused on the growing human community on Zarathia. New buildings were constructed to accommodate them. A school was started for the few human children who had come with their parents. Scientist parents, Kate taught classes about Earth history and culture. She wanted the children to know their heritage. The relationship between humans and Zarathi deepened friendships, formed couples paired up. There were even a few more marriages following Kate and Alara's example. The palace that had once been strictly Zarathi now had humans working and living in it. The city that had never seen an alien now had a thriving human district. The first reports from Earth were positive. The team had established their base without incident. They had made contact with a few trusted scientists. These scientists were sworn to secrecy, but were helping the team understand Earth better. The Zarathi visitors were adapting well to Earth conditions. Their disguises worked perfectly. But then came troubling news. A Zarathi visitor had fallen ill. The Earth's bacteria were affecting them in unexpected ways. The medical team was working on it, but they were concerned. More Zarathi were showing symptoms. The mission was in danger, Kate, and the medical team on Zarathia worked day and night to find a solution. They analyzed Earth's microbes. They tested different treatments. Finally, they created a protective supplement that would strengthen Zarathi immune systems against Earth bacteria. They sent it to the Earth team immediately. The supplement worked. The sick Zarathi recovered. The mission continued. But the incident showed how much they still had to learn about each other. Despite years of research, there were still surprises. Kate realized that bringing two worlds together would be harder than she thought. It would take more than science. It would take patience and understanding. 5 years passed. The human population on Zarathia reached 100. The Zarathi presence on Earth remained small and secret, but grew slowly. Earth scientists working with the team made breakthroughs in medicine and technology. Some of these advances were carefully introduced to the public as human innovations. Kate and Alara celebrated 5 years of marriage. In Zarathi culture, this was an important milestone. They renewed their vows in a ceremony that blended Zarathi and Earth traditions. Kate wore a white dress, Alara wore traditional royal robes. They exchanged rings in the human way and mind crystals in the Zarathi way. After the ceremony, Alara had a surprise for Kate. She had been working with the royal engineers on a special project, a communication device that would let Kate talk to her family on Earth. Kate had not spoken to them since her disappearance. They thought she was dead. Kate was overwhelmed with emotion. The call was arranged carefully. Kate's parents were contacted by Lisa, who prepared them. She told them Kate was alive but living in a secret research facility. She could not say where or why, only that Kate was happy and doing important work. When Kate finally spoke to them, they cried. They had so many questions she could not fully answer, but hearing her voice gave them peace. This connection to Earth made Kate think more about the future of human and Zarathi relations. The secret could not be kept forever. More humans would figure it out like Lisa had. The Earth team reported that rumors were already spreading in scientific communities. Someone had seen something. Strange lights. Unexplained. Phenomena. Kate and Alara presented a new plan to the council. It was time to move faster. They proposed bringing a small delegation of Earth leaders to Zarathia. Show them the truth. Let them help decide how to tell the rest of humanity. The risk was high, but the alternative was discovery without control. The council was hesitant, but the Queen supported the plan. She had seen how humans had helped save her people. She believed it was time to repay that debt. The delegation would be small. Just 10 people, world leaders, scientists, religious figures. They would be carefully chosen for their wisdom and open-mindedness. Lisa and her team on Earth made the selections. They approached each candidate privately. They revealed just enough to gain interest but not enough to cause panic. The chosen ones were sworn to secrecy. They were told they would be taken to meet an advanced civilization. They were not told it was off-world. The day the delegation arrived on Zorathia was historic. Kate stood, with Alara and the Queen as the humans stepped off the ship. Their faces showed shock, awe, wonder. They had been told they were meeting aliens. But seeing the Crystal City and the blue four-armed Zorathi was beyond their imagination. Kate welcomed them. She explained her story, how she had come to Zorathia, how she had made a life there, how humans and Zorathi were working together. She showed them the human district, the schools, the labs, the homes. She introduced them to human children born on Zorathia. These children were comfortable around aliens. They spoke both languages. They belonged to both worlds. The delegation spent a week on Zorathia. They attended meetings. They visited facilities. They asked countless questions. Some were afraid. Some were excited. All were changed by what they saw. When it was time for them to return to Earth, they had reached a consensus. Humanity should be told, but carefully, slowly, in stages. The plan they developed would take 20 years. First scientific, cooperation would increase. Earth would see new technologies but not their source. Then historical evidence would be discovered, ancient connections between the species, then limited. Zorathi would reveal themselves to selected populations. Finally, when humanity was ready, full contact would be established. Kate would oversee the plan from Zorathia. Alara would represent the Zorathi leadership. The delegation would manage Earth preparations. The Queen gave her blessing. The most ambitious project in Zorathi history had begun. The first 5 years went well. New technologies appeared on Earth. Clean energy, improved medicine, better food production. Humans' lives improved. They did not know these advances came from Zorathi. Science filtered through human researchers. On Zorathia, the human community thrived. They built an earth garden with grass and trees and flowers. A little piece of home. Kate sometimes walked in this garden alone, remembering Earth, the feel of rain, the smell of soil, the sound of birds. But she did not regret her choice. Her life on Zorathia was full and meaningful. She had purpose. She had community. She had love. In the 10th year of the plan, archaeological discoveries were announced on Earth. Ancient artifacts showing strange beings interacting with humans. Cave paintings, stone carvings, buried objects. These were carefully planted by the Earth team, but they seemed genuine. They prepared humans for the idea that they had met aliens before. By year 15, public opinion on Earth had shifted. Most people believed intelligent life existed elsewhere. Many believed contact had happened in the past. The idea of aliens was no longer frightening to most. It was exciting. Humanity looked to the stars with hope, not fear. In Year 18, the first official Zorathi revealed themselves. They appeared at the United Nations. They announced their presence. They told a partial truth that they had been observing Earth, that they came in peace, that they wished to establish relations. There was panic in some places, joy in others, confusion everywhere. But the world did not fall apart. The final stage began. Zorathi ships appeared openly in Earth skies. Earth leaders visited. Zorathia human ambassadors were appointed. The truth about the genetic program was carefully explained. The ancient treaty was revealed. The long preparation had worked. Humanity accepted the new reality with remarkable calm. 20 years after the plan began, Kate stood on a platform in New York City beside Alara and the Earth president. They were signing a new treaty alliance between Earth and Zorathia. Free exchange of people and ideas. Mutual defense. Shared research. Kate could hardly believe how far they had come. Later that evening, Kate and Alara walked through Central Park. Zorathi visitors mingled with humans. Some stared, some took pictures, but most just went about their business as if blue four-armed aliens were normal. This was what success looked like. Kate thought about that night in the lab so long ago. One moment had changed everything. One accident had led to this incredible journey. She had broken the rules. She had married an alien princess. She had bridged two worlds. Alara seemed to know what Kate was thinking. I squeezed her hand with two of her forearms. She spoke softly. Sometimes the best things happen by accident. The princess was right. Kate smiled. This accident had changed two worlds forever, and it all started with a human who stepped on the wrong flower.